Have you ever looked at your phone on a Friday night and realized it hasn't lit up in hours? Have you ever walked into a room, looked around at the groups of people laughing, high-fiving, and losing themselves in chatter, and felt a strange cold distance? It's not just that you are physically apart from them, like you are watching a movie that you are not in. We are programmed by society, by social media, and by biological evolution to believe that survival means tribe. When you see others surrounded by crowds, constant invitations, and endless notifications, a voice in the back of your head, your inner critic, starts to whisper. It tells you that something is missing. It tells you that you are defective. It tells you that you are falling behind in the social hierarchy. It sits on your chest. It tells you that perhaps you are failing where everyone else seems to be succeeding effortlessly. But I want you to pause right there. What if the lack of friends in your circle is not evidence of your social weakness, but the ultimate sign of your psychological strength? We are going to flip the script on everything you have been told about popularity. Today, we are going to uncover why having fewer friends, or sometimes having absolutely no one at all, isn't proof that you are broken. It is proof that you are rare. It is proof that you have evolved past the need for constant low-level validation. Because the final reflection we discuss will fundamentally alter how you view your solitude. You'll stop seeing it as a prison and start seeing it as a fortress. You need to understand that the modern world is designed to keep you distracted. It is designed to keep you in a state of constant, shallow engagement. The crowd is not a support system. Often, it is a mechanism for conformity. When you step out of that mechanism, it feels cold at first. But that coldness is the temperature of truth. Let's look at the data of history. The men who actually changed the trajectory of the human species, were they the ones at every party? Were they the ones with the most connections? Albert Einstein once admitted that solitude was not just a preference, but a biological necessity for his creativity. He needed silence. He needed time. He needed vast, empty space to think. He understood a principle of dark psychology before the term existed. The crowd consumes cognitive bandwidth. Surrounded by too much noise, Einstein knew he would lose the crystal-clear clarity that gave birth to his genius. He chose to be alone so he could be effective. They viewed it as a potential liability. Who could have had thousands of sycophants around him at any moment, trode extensively about the retreat into oneself. He argued that a person who is at peace with themselves is never truly alone, even in a desert. But a person at war with themselves feels lonely even in a stadium. Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, was even stricter. He warned his students to guard their circle as if their lives depended on it because, in a way, their spiritual lives did. He taught that the wrong company corrupts character faster than you realize. It's like a virus. You catch their fears, their anxieties, their petty desires, and their limited worldviews simply by proximity. The great Roman statesman warned us that it is better to walk alone in the dark than to follow a crowd that is rushing toward a cliff. He saw the mob as a collection of people running away from themselves. History's brightest minds, strongest leaders, and deepest souls found their power in solitude. Then perhaps your quiet path is not a flaw. Perhaps your empty phone screen is a reflection of your depth.
Yes.
Let us explore 4 powerful insights that reveal what the lack of friends actually means for a high-value man, and why this isolation might be the clearest sign that you are building a life of real power. First, your lack of friends is a filter, not a flaw. A high-value man doesn't collect people. He connects with principles. Every minute you spend in meaningless conversation is a minute you aren't spending building your empire,
Oh no.
honing your skills, or strengthening your mind and body. The reason you have fewer friends is because your standards are astronomically high. You're not looking for someone to kill time with. You're looking for someone to build a future with, to challenge your ideas, to elevate your thinking. Most people operate on a very low frequency. They talk about other people, complain about their circumstances. You are operating on a different wavelength. When your frequency is that high, very few people can tune in. Your solitude isn't a sign of rejection. It's a sign that your filter is working perfectly, leaving space for the truly exceptional ones, or for the profound work that can only be done alone. Second, your isolation is an incubator for your power. When as a man it is most powerful, when he's reacting to the crowd, or when he is acting from his own internal compass. The crowd pulls you in 1,000 different directions. One friend wants you to go out drinking, another wants you to complain about work, and social media wants you to be outraged about something new every 10 minutes. All of this is noise. It's designed to keep you weak, distracted, and reactive. Solitude is the exact opposite. It is the training ground where you learn to listen to your own voice. It's where you confront your weaknesses without judgment and build your strengths without applause. In silence, you can strategize your next move. You can plan your business, map out your fitness goals, and read the books that will make you a formidable intellect. While others are busy seeking validation from the group, forging the man you are destined to become. The heat is uncomfortable, but it's what turns raw iron into tempered steel. This is a level of psychological freedom most people will never experience. From a young age, we are conditioned to seek approval. Good grades for our parents, popularity for our peers, likes and follows for our online persona. Our entire sense of self can become a reflection of what others think of us. This is a prison. A man who needs applause to feel worthy is a puppet. His strings are pulled by the opinions of others. But a man who can stand alone, who can look in the mirror and know his own value without a single person clapping for him, that man is a king. His sense of worth comes from within. It is built on his discipline, his integrity, and his commitment to his own mission. He doesn't need a group to tell him he's on the right path. He can feel it in his gut. This self-reliance is the bedrock of true confidence. It's not the loud, performative confidence of the insecure man in a crowd. It's the quiet, unshakable confidence of a man who knows himself and trusts his own judgment above all else. When your phone is silent, it's not because you are unwanted. It's because you no longer need it to ring to know you are worthy. And finally, our fourth point, the one that ties it all together. Your solitude is a sign of your evolution. Think of human development like climbing a mountain. At the base of the mountain, it's crowded. This is the level of survival and belonging. People huddle together for safety and social validation. They conform to group norms. They follow trends. Most people live and die at the base of this mountain. But as you start to climb, the path gets narrower, the air gets thinner, the crowds start to disappear. You begin to prioritize your own values, your own mission, and your own purpose over the need for group acceptance. You start shedding the relationships that are holding you back. You cannot reach the summit of your potential while carrying the weight of other people's opinions, dramas, and low standards. Your solitude is not a step backward. It's a massive leap forward on the evolutionary scale of consciousness. You have evolved past the herd mentality. You're no longer a sheep seeking the comfort of the flock. So let's bring it all back. That empty phone, that quiet room, that feeling of being an outsider, it's not a curse. It's a clearance. It's the space you've created for greatness to emerge. It's the incubator for your power. It's the evidence of your self-reliance. And most importantly, it's the sign that you are on a higher, more difficult, but infinitely more rewarding path. The crowd follows the noise. The leader follows his vision. And vision requires silence. So the next time you feel that pang of loneliness, I want you to reframe it. You are not alone. You are in the company of the greatest minds in history. You are in a state of deep focus. You are in the process of building a fortress of self-reliance. It is the silence before the storm of your own making, the one that will change everything. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel for more insights on building a life of power and purpose. We're on this path together, even when we walk it alone. See you in the next one. Let's talk about that moment, that feeling. The first and most painful realization that you just don't fit in. I want you to go back in your mind. Analyze the last time you really tried to have a conversation with what you'd call a normal group of people. Picture it. It's usually about other people. It's the latest celebrity scandal. It's complaining about their boss for the 100th time. It's just a bland regurgitation of something they saw in the news with no real thought behind it. And then you try to talk about a future plan, a business you want to start, a philosophical question, or something that actually matters. And what happens? You know what happens? They look at you like you just started speaking a foreign language. The conversation falls completely flat. It's like your thoughts were too heavy for the surface tension of their minds. That mismatch is jarring, isn't it? What's wrong with me? Why can't I just connect? Why can't I just be normal? But I need you to listen to me very carefully. That feeling is not a defect. It is a diagnostic. It's a sign that you are not meant to live on the surface. You're a creature of the deep ocean, trying to swim in a kiddie pool. of course you're going to keep hitting the bottom. You were built for depths they can't even imagine. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Just think about that imagery for a second. If your thoughts are rich, reflective, strategic, and intentional, your soul takes on a deep, complex color. It's vibrant. It's multi-layered. Now, if the people around you have thoughts that are frantic, shallow, reactive, and trivial, their souls are a different color entirely. And when you try to mix those two colors, they don't blend into a beautiful new shade. They clash on stoic resilience, on achieving financial freedom, or on building a legacy. Then a shallow circle of friends will never, ever feel like home. It will feel like a cage. Have you ever noticed how most people connect so quickly and easily? It seems almost effortless for them. Their bond is built on low-stakes utility. It's a simple, unspoken agreement. You entertain me, and I'll entertain you. It's transactional distraction. The only requirements are a few laughs, convenience, and the shared goal of killing time together. But you're different. You're looking to invest it, to build with it, to create something meaningful from it. If you're someone who craves honesty, if you crave genuine loyalty, if you crave a brotherhood that actually challenges you and pushes you to become a better man, you will not fit in easily. You simply cannot walk into an average bar on a Friday night and find that. It's not there. So, this inability to fit in is not a weakness, but is proof that you carry a different frequency. Resonance only happens when two objects vibrate at the same or a compatible frequency. If you are vibrating at a level of high ambition, deep introspection, you literally cannot resonate with someone who is vibrating at the level of cheap dopamine hits, endless complaints, and weekend escapism. Your frequencies are worlds apart. Being rare means you cannot be everywhere at once. This means you are a limited, valuable resource. Society, especially these days, tries to shame men into being social butterflies. They tell you that you should be able to get along with everyone, that being universally liked is the ultimate goal. But let's look at this through the lens of dark psychology. The person who gets along with everyone often stands for nothing. They are a chameleon, constantly changing their skin, their opinions, their very essence to match whatever environment they're in. They lack a core. You've started becoming a rock. And rocks don't blend in. They stand out. They are hard. They are immovable. And yes, sometimes they stand alone. And that's okay. It's more than okay. It's a position of strength. Think about the most successful, most impactful people in history. Were they social butterflies who were loved by everyone? Or were they often isolated, misunderstood figures who were so focused on their mission that they didn't have time for trivialities? They were rocks. They were lighthouses. They stood firm while the tides of public opinion crashed against them. This leads us directly into the second, and perhaps the most challenging aspect of your isolation. It's about what happens when the noise stops, when the shallow conversations fade away, when the party ends, and you're left alone. You're left with the only person you can never escape, yourself. For most people, this is terrifying. They'll do anything to avoid it. They'll scroll endlessly, binge-watch shows, or seek out any distraction to avoid being alone with their own thoughts. Because when they are alone, they are confronted with a void. But for you, this solitude is not a void. What is a forge? It is the crucible where your character is tested, strengthened, and purified. When you are alone, you are not really alone. You are with your goals. You are with your plans. You are with your principles. You are in the company of your own well-cultivated mind. This is where the real work gets done. This is where you audit your life, where you confront your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. Embracing this solitude is the ultimate power move. It's a declaration that your own company is not just tolerable, but preferable to the company of those who drain your energy and pull you down. It's a sign that you have built an internal world so rich and compelling that the external world of triviality pales in comparison. So the next time you feel that pang of loneliness, that feeling of not fitting in, I want you to reframe it. Don't see it as a failure. See it as a filter. It's your mind and your spirit's natural defense mechanism, filtering out the noise, filtering out everything that is not aligned with your highest self. You're not being rejected. You're being preserved. Preserved for the right people, the right opportunities, and the right mission. Your path is a difficult one. It's a path that few choose to walk. but it is the only path that leads to a life of meaning, purpose, and true fulfillment. The feeling of being an outsider isn't a curse. It's the price of admission for a life that is truly your own. Stand tall in your solitude, build your empire in silence, and know that your frequency will eventually attract others who are vibrating on your level. They are out there. Your tribe is waiting. But they won't find you in the shallow end. They'll find you in the deep. Thanks for watching. We're rebuilding a community of men who are done with the superficial and are ready to build a life of substance. Until next time. Why do so many people fear being alone? Have you ever noticed how people panic when they have just a few minutes with nothing to do? They immediately pull out their phones. They scroll through social media. They send meaningless texts. They turn on the TV just for some background noise. Anything to fill the void. Why? Because the silence forces them to face their own minds. And for the average person, their own mind is a terrifying place. It's a space filled with insecurities, unresolved issues, guilt, and that nagging feeling that they are wasting their lives. So, they run toward constant company, not out of love for others, but out of a deep-seated fear of themselves. They use other people like a drug, a way to numb their own consciousness and escape their own thoughts. But you, if you're living a life with fewer friends, a life with more solitude, you are doing something most people are far too afraid to do. You are enduring the silence. If you can sit alone in a room on a Saturday night, working on your goals, reading a book, or just thinking without feeling like you're falling apart, that is a superpower. That is strength in its rawest, most authentic form. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus once told his students, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In our modern world, we can translate this powerful idea too. If you want to become your best self, be content to be seen as a loner or antisocial. Remember, the path of growth always looks strange to those who are standing still. When you choose meaningful solitude over empty company, people will judge you. They'll label you. They'll say you're depressed. They'll say you're arrogant. They'll call you weird. Let them talk. Because while they are busy talking, you are training. Solitude is the gymnasium of the mind. It's the training ground where you build the invaluable skill of emotional autonomy. Let's imagine two different men. Man A needs constant validation. He needs the group chat to tell him he's funny. He needs a partner to tell him he's worthy. He needs his friends to tell him he's one of the guys. If you take those people away, man completely collapses. He has no internal structure, no self-sustaining core. His entire sense of self is outsourced. Now, consider man B. He's the one who walks the path of self-reliance. He can stand in complete silence and feel whole. He genuinely enjoys the company of others, but only if it's high quality. He doesn't require it to function or to feel good about himself. His validation comes from within, from his own code of honor, his personal achievements, and his unwavering discipline. So which one of these men is truly free? Man A is a slave to the crowd's opinion, and B is the master of his own fate. Solitude isn't a punishment for a lack of social skills. It's the practice ground for your independence. It's where you learn to self-soothe, to self-regulate, and to self-motivate. When you're alone, you're forced to ask yourself the hard questions, the ones that truly matter. Who am I when no one is watching? What do I actually believe? Separate from what I've been told to believe my whole life. What do I truly want? This process can be painful. It's like lifting heavy weights at the gym. It tears the muscle fibers of your ego, breaking down your old, weaker self. But this is necessary, because it's in the healing process that a stronger, more resilient self can grow back in its place. So, if you're looking around and seeing empty chairs in your life right now, don't despair. Don't see it as a failure. See it for what it is. You are in training. You are shedding the dependency that keeps 99% of people weak, docile, and easily controllable. You are becoming formidable in the best possible way, because a person who is happy alone is a person who cannot be manipulated. They operate from a place of strength, not need. This journey into solitude fundamentally changes how you view relationships. Because when you stop needing everyone, you start truly valuing the right ones. Your social circle might get smaller, but its depth and quality will increase tenfold. You'll no longer tolerate energy vampires or superficial connections, because your own company is too valuable to trade for anything less than genuine. You'll start attracting people who are also comfortable in their own skin. Individuals who don't need you to complete them but want to share their completeness with you. These are the connections built on mutual respect and shared growth, not on codependency and fear. Embrace your time alone. Use it to build, to learn, to reflect. Meditate, journal. Pick up that skill you've always wanted to learn. Read the books that challenge your thinking. The more you invest in yourself during these quiet moments, the more you have to offer the world and the right people when you choose to engage. This isn't a call to become a hermit, it's a call to become whole. It's about building a foundation so strong that you can weather any storm, with or without a crowd cheering you on. Your inner world becomes a fortress, a sanctuary of peace and power that no one can take from you. So, the next time you find yourself with a quiet evening ahead, resist the urge to immediately fill it with noise. Sit with the silence. Welcome it. It's not empty. It's full of opportunity. The opportunity to meet the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. That is the ultimate freedom. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, like this video and subscribe for more content on building a life of strength and purpose. We'll see you in the next one.